Zach and Brandon.
Zach and Brandon.
Zach and Brandon.
And this is Completely Biased.
Completely biased.
Completely biased.
With Zach and Brandon.
And away we go.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Brandon.
How you doing?
I'm hot.
Yeah.
I'm really hot.
I'm burning up. We've had a few minor technical difficulties on my part. We had a fan in here that I thought was the air conditioning, but it was not the air conditioning. So I was running around the house turning off all the freaking air conditioning. And then we were like, you know what? It's too hot. It's too loud. I'm going to just move over into the
media room.
And then Zach was walking out, and he's like, hey. Just had the smile on his face. I was like, ah, shit. Like, you know, there's a switch behind me that says fan off, fan on. And I was like, well, I'm a dumbass.
We did not notice it till we were planning to leave the room. And now is that better?
Yeah, that's
all
better.
right. Well,
yeah.
We were planning, as we were leaving the room, we see the switch. So we have to start over, move everything back in here. But it's over. It's done with. It's set up. We're here.
We're rolling.
We are going.
So we had a pilot episode a few days ago just to test the waters, and we were thinking of some topics to talk about, some ideas for the show, and you know, to get the ball rolling. So I was thinking about this. We were at the gym, and I was thinking, what, Zach Crutcher, is your top 4, your Mount Rushmore of worst?
Shout out to PFT and Big Cat.
PFT and Big Cat.
You own the rights. We don't.
Yeah, we're just inspired by you guys.
Exactly. Love the pod. What
would you say is your Mount Rushmore of heartbreaks in sports that you've experienced in your lifetime? Not like the Titans Rams half-yard line, because you don't remember that.
Personally experienced heartbreak.
Yeah.
You just want to do this like how they do it, snake order?
Yeah, we can just bounce back and forth. I'll let you start I can start if you need some time to think.
You can go first. Okay,
well, as many of y'all do not know, I'm an Ole Miss fan. I'm a diehard Ole Miss fan, so a lot of mine are probably going to come from that. And my first one comes from a very up and down season of 2015 by a game of Ole Miss and Arkansas. It was known as the Henry Heave, or us Ole Miss fans call it the 4th and 25. Basically, Ole Miss was alive for the SEC championship. We were, I think, top 15 at the time. And if we would have won that game, we would have still been alive for the SEC championship. And it was 4th and 25. I believe in, wasn't it overtime? I think it was overtime. Or it might have been. Yeah, it was overtime.
It was overtime.
Yeah, it was an overtime because the stuff happened, which I'll get to. It was 4th and 25. The guy who made the tackle. It was Hunter Henry. And
great tight end for the Chargers. Kind of decent tight end.
Let's not go into semantics about that.
Okay.
You know, he's not a name I want to mention ever again. But we tackled him. I was already celebrating. I was jumping up, high-fiving my dad, and I see my dad say, "Hold up!" And I turn around. I see the ball midair. I was like, "What the hell's happening?" They're trying to, and I was like, "Okay." And I see Marquise Haynes and I believe Robert Gambici are two top. I might be wrong on that, but I think Marquise was in that swat. They both swatted at the ball simultaneously, and it went straight through their hands. It was at least 2 players, and they went straight through their hands. And it landed in the running back's hand. It didn't land in an offensive lineman, the left guard from, like, Fayetteville, Arkansas, that was like a walk-on. It landed in the freaking running back's hands. Alex Collins, I believe it was.
Alex Collins.
And he took off the sideline. All I remember was my dad saying, "He might have it. He might have it."
And then he got it.
He has it. And I was like, I was dead. I was heartbroken. And I was like, all right, we still got a chance. It's overtime. We have the lead. We can get the stop. Obviously, they score. And I was thinking they were going to tie it up and we're going to double overtime. We've been there before with Arkansas.
But then Brett Bielema,
the
Hall of Fame Arkansas head coach.
The famous
of the game.
Famous Walmart shopper. Went for 2. And we stopped him. Our best player, probably our best pass rusher in school history, Marquise Haynes, leads the school in history in sacks. Stopped him, sacked him, started running through the field. But flags landed on the field. It was a face mask. They get another shot. I instantly knew we were going to lose. And there goes our SEC championship. There goes our potential national championship run. We're like, hey, maybe this team could sneak in. They've beaten Alabama, LSU, Auburn, A&M, they have a great track record. How about we go in there? No. Just because some douchebag named Hunter Henry threw the ball up in the air. I'll never forget that. That was almost one of the games. I'll admit, I'm a man. I almost cried.
Wow.
I was that worked up. It was a roll because I was legit celebrating when he threw the ball in the air. I was legit I was like, thank God we finally escaped this freaking shootout. I'll never forget that. That's obviously the George Washington.
That's your George Washington?
Yeah.
First pick, and this isn't really the one that hurt the most because it was kind of expected.
Yeah.
But it's the most recent, and Titans fans, like, if you follow the channel, you know I'm a Titans fan. And most Titans fans will probably agree with this. The AFC Championship against the Chiefs. Not necessarily the game itself, because we kind of went in. We were playing well. We had momentum. But you knew you were going into the Lions' den, and you knew, I mean, what Mahomes is. He's pretty much unstoppable in that offense with Hill and Kelsey and whatnot. But the play that really broke my heart, and again, most Titans fans will probably agree, is Mahomes' run at the end of the first half. That pretty much sealed the game. First half, we're playing well. We're playing our style of ball. We were up by, I think we're up 10-0 early, and then we're up 17-7. They score. We go 3 and out. They get the ball back. 2 minutes left. And he has that run where there's multiple chances you can bring him down. Rashaan Evans, Tremaine Brock. I mean, you have the chance to bring him down. And that's going to go down as Mahomes' GOAT play until, the next one. But for this season, that's his play right now.
Basically the play that made you think they were going to win. Basically.
Oh, exactly. You're sitting there. You were sitting there with me.
Yeah, I watched it with you.
Some buddies were there watching it at my aunt's house. You knew it was over. I was upset. I almost threw a chair out of anger. Just because you knew they get ball to start second half. We kind of contained their offense, but they figured us out.
Yeah.
You're pretty much done. It was over then and there off of that run. So the game itself didn't really sting, but in that moment, it hurt because you knew it was over, and the rest of the second half was just numb because you knew it's over.
Yeah.
So that's probably not the most heartbreaking, but if it's just a play in general, that's probably the play that hurts the most.
See, what I remember from that day is you were actually kind of calm. You know what I mean? I don't remember. I mean, I might be remembering it wrong, but I remember when it happened. Me and our buddy were like, "Oh, well." I looked over at you. I remember you slapping a chair or something like that. But
well, you want to control your anger
because there was kids there.
There were kids. It's family. You don't want to. But very upsetting is because, like I said, you know it's over. It's not even an anger. It's more of a numbness where you're like, "This is it."
Yeah.
This is over. I mean, there's anger in many different ways. You can have the outgoing vocal anger. You can have the quiet, you're pissed off, but you're not showing it anger.
Yeah.
It was just more of those you're pissed off, but you're quiet about it.
I was about to say, you're kind of all over the place when it comes to anger in sports. What would you say is your...
Oh, thank you.
You can control it pretty well compared to me. But, what would you say is your main go-to when you're getting angry? Obviously you have Zach in the Titans Stadium. You're in the game. You're right there. You're about 10 rows out. Or you have...
Flex.
Or you have, Bama. You have... what would you say is, your primary go-to anger mode?
Go-to anger mode? It probably, as a teen, was just the all-out, you're pissed off, you're screaming, you're yelling, maybe the occasional cuss word.
Yeah.
As you get older, it's not that it doesn't matter as much. It's just that you're kind of used to the shock.
I get you. Yeah, you're just kind of numb to it because...
Exactly.
As a Titans fan, you've been through heartbreak. You've been to the 2014s.
For sure, especially since I've really only been a fan since 2009. So until the past couple of years, it's been nothing but heartbreak.
You've missed this. You were at the peak of 2K, CJ 2K.
Oh, but I was also 9 years old and just understanding the game of football. You were just getting into it, yeah. And you're basically past the Eddie George, McNair. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely past that.
So. And
you're on Fisher's way out, I believe, right? That was around...
Fisher. He was there 2009. He got fired after the 2010 season.
I was about to say you were there on his way out.
Exactly.
So. That's not a bad first one.
It's not a bad first one. It's not probably the one, but it's definitely, like I said, if there's heartbreak in one play,
That's it.
that's it.
I can get that. Well, my second one, I believe, second is Thomas Jefferson to the. We can just
Is he even
go.
on that?
I think it's. It's. I've been there. Hold on.
That's a stupid. Yeah.
George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. I think Thomas Jefferson.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's just I don't know. It's a monument in South Dakota, so like that's their only claim to fame up there. Besides,
Pretty
I think Yellowstone. But my second one's also like it happened like 7.
Before you get into this, just for the surface, is
Okay.
yours all Ole Miss?
I believe so. Yeah. Besides one, which because I was actually like a huge fan at the time of it.
Okay, I
But
think
we'll
I
get
know. I
into
think
that.
I know where you're
Yeah.
going, and I think I agree with you. Continue.
But Ole Miss is my favorite team. Obviously, you're gonna hear a lot about. I'm wearing an Ole Miss shirt right now.
Just let it out now before
Yeah.
you get into your second. Sports team wise, it's mainly Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I don't really have an NFL team. I say I pull for the Titans because I'm from Tennessee. I know you're a huge Titans fan. I say I pull for the Saints because I was born in Mississippi. Everybody down there is a Saints fan or a Falcon fan, which I'm not being a fucking Falcon fan. I'm going to be real with you. I hate the fucking Falcons.
You hate the Falcons?
Yeah, I don't like them. Like,
All right. Well,
ever
you're
since-
semi-Saints, so that makes sense. They're supposed to be rivals.
Yeah, you get that. I was born to hate them, and then I was a Giants fan because of Eli Manning, Evan Ingram, John Jerry was there for a little bit, Cody
Ole
Core.
Miss players.
Yeah, I follow Ole Miss players in the league, and I have a general knowledge. Like I have like a good knowledge of NFL, but I'm mainly like if you ask me Ole Miss, I'll get it. But
Yeah.
my second one is Ole Miss, and it actually happened last season. Last game, last play.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've
first
been
off.
sitting on this. I don't want to get political and stuff, but I've been sitting on this for not even that.
It hasn't been 4 months.
It's been
It's been almost 8 months.
It feels like a long 4. It's 8. Yeah, it's a long 4, 8. But I've been sitting on this for 8 months, and this was the last play I've seen on my team. And I really want there to be a football season because I don't want to sit on this for another year. But we'll
For you that don't know, let me set the picture. And I just watch my friend here get depressed, which I apologize.
yeah.
Thanksgiving night, 2019. The Egg Bowl, classic rivalry, probably one of the most underrated rivalries in all of college football.
It's about 7:35, 8:35 at night.
That was probably later than that. It was more like
Probably like 9:30.
Anyway, Ole Miss Rebels are playing the Mississippi State Bulldogs yet again. It's a great game. Got a long run by what's his name, John Rice Plumlee.
Yeah. He actually got shut down that game.
I thought he had a long run.
I think that
That's
was
not the point.
Yeah.
Point is, they're down by 7. Ole Miss is with 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go.
About 4, I think 4 minutes,
And-
maybe 2. Yeah. I kind of
It's a 2-minute drill. They're down by 7.
I blocked it out of my memory if you can't tell.
Got a ways to go. The quarterback, Matt Corral, to his credit, drives them down the field. They handle a couple 4th downs that maybe should have been stopped beforehand, but they get them down to the goal line. And Brandon, I'll let you finish from there.
Okay, let me just pick up from where you were. I'll take it a little back like a Tarantino movie. I'll take it back a little bit. Plumlee, true freshman. We were there at the game when he came in.
Versus
The
California.
California game. We were there. You ruined my spotlight, too, when he came in, because I was always high on John Rice Plumlee. All right? as soon as we recruited him and picked him up and he committed, I was like, dude, this kid's going to be good. I seen his highlights. He can play. And he came in. Matt Corral got hurt, unfortunately, bruised his ribs, actually. And Plumlee was coming in. I was like, Plumlee's coming in. Like, I was like, guys, watch this. And these two dudes in front of me, the first play, he ran it for 57 yards on his first play in college football. These two dudes in front of us were like, who is this kid? And I was about to have my shining moment. I was about to be like, this kid is John Rice Plumlee from, I think, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And then Zach jumps in front of me, grabs him by the shoulder and says, Mason Plumlee, what?
Actually, Mason Plumlee is like a forward for the Denver Nuggets, but he was the first guy. I didn't know who the guy was either. I just saw Plumlee, so the first thing that popped in my head was Mason Plumlee. I heard you say the name before,
Yeah.
but it never clicked like it does now, so I just assumed his name was Mason Plumlee. So I tell the guys, his name's Mason Plumlee. He's going to be the next great quarterback at Ole Miss. Remember the name, Mason Plumlee.
And you sounded so freaking
I was
confident,
dead
too.
serious because I thought his name was Mason Plumlee.
You had the hand going like Mason Plumlee, like you were emphasizing syllable by syllable. Mason Plumlee.
I swear to God, I thought his name was Mason Plumlee.
And
I was wrong.
this kid had an incredible season. Like, I think he played 8 games, 7 games.
Played all right. He's got work on his arm.
He 8 games, 7 games. He rushed for 1,000 yards and like 15 touchdowns. He blew up 200 yards, 4 touchdowns against number 1 LSU. Okay?
Yeah.
And this kid, I thought, was going to be like, all right, he's going to come in against State after rushing all over the potential future national champions, Heisman Trophy, like best team ever in college football, potentially in my opinion. Like, he's going to come out and destroy this team. I think he rushed for like 40 yards that entire game. He got shut out. Against State. Yeah,
all right,
against
continue.
State.
Continue. Get us back on track.
His arm's getting better. He was making some throws. Granted, they're like 10 and under. But he was making the throws that he wasn't usually doing earlier on. But he wasn't getting the ball going. He fumbled, I think, earlier on. Ely and Plumlee, I think, fumbled earlier on in the game, which kind of switched momentum. Because that first drive, we were actually like clicking. And then I think Ely fumbled. I remember you texting me saying, this is going to be over early or something like that. I remember that. And then after that, we got shut out. It was a defensive battle. In comes Matt Corral, the guy that, no offense to Matt, if you ever somehow hear this, I was never high on. He was a top 100 recruit, top 10 quarterback, 4-star out of California. I never believed in him. And he came in. And now, granted, the last drive, 4th and 25, I think, ironically, he threw a Hail Mary perfectly, which he called by himself, by the way. I think Rich Rod, you know? Rich Rod. That peaked a little bit, but it's okay.
That's all right.
We'll fix it, yeah. He called some BS freaking Rich Rod play, a wishbone.
Rich Rod?
A wishbone triple option, Hail Mary from Jerry and Ely, some bullshit like that. And Matt Corral, to his credit, was like, nah, fuck that. You go a streak, I'm going to throw it up to you. And it was Elijah Moore, I believe, that caught it. Oh, Braylon Sanders. Braylon Sanders caught it, I think. And he threw it up. It was a perfect throw. We're alive. We're going. I felt confident. I was high-fiving on my family. I was at my uncle's house. My family were all high-fiving. Even my uncle's sons who live in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, who go to LSU, who are LSU fans now, which is a huge controversy in my family, but they're LSU fans. They were pulling for Ole Miss, and they don't like Ole Miss. And we got to the 4-yard line, I believe, and we had straight plays of just incompletion, flag, incompletion, overthrow, drop, something like that. It was just
it was a lot of chaos.
It was a lot of chaos. You remember it. It was
I remember.
Huge.
I was sitting there watching it.
My heart was sunken into my stomach. I was such a nervous wreck. And then Elijah Moore, probably one of the most underrated receivers in the SEC, gonna be a good star, good slot receiver, catches it, goes in the end zone with like 2 seconds left. We tie the game. But oh shit, I didn't even remember seeing this. I don't remember seeing this, but he lifted his leg up like DK Metcalf a few years prior, I think. 2 years prior?
Might have been 2 years prior.
Yeah, it was 2 years prior because we got blew out with the fight with AJ. We got blew out that game. But
blown out?
Yeah, proper English.
You gotta be proper English.
Okay, but pound forward.
Anyway, he pissed like a dog after scoring a touchdown.
And I was like, I didn't remember seeing that. I was too busy high-fiving. And I remember seeing my uncle, who was right next to me, who later went outside for the next play. He was like, God, Ely? I mean, not Ely. Elijah, God damn it. I was like, what? And he's like, he just peed like a dog. And I looked up and he was like, I heard this will be assessed on the kickoff. I was like, okay, cool. Going to kick the field goal, even though we don't have Gary Wunderlich anymore. We're going to kick the field goal, we're going to overtime, potentially win. Out comes Luke Logan. And
Luke Logan.
God love him. He's kicking he's trying his best. He's following one of the best kickers in Ole Miss history. I will say in SEC history, at least top 10. That's biased, but he had one of the greatest seasons of all time, 95% kicking percentage. Out comes Luke Logan. It's about from the 20, I believe, 25. It was backed up 15 yards.
Yeah, so it'd be about a 35-yard kick.
Yeah, it's about a 35-yard kick. And I was like, why are we backed up? I thought we were assessing this on the kickoff. And I was like, Joe Moorhead was like the genius he is.
Who's now fired from Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Both coaches fired.
Which one deservedly so. But
they both did.
Yeah. Out comes Luke Logan. He's dapping up people. He's smiling. He's like high-fiving. He looks confident as hell. I was like, oh, God, I don't like this. You've known me. I dislike this kicker because he's not Wunderlich. If I could sign Wunderlich to a 10-year deal.
He's not as consistent.
Yeah, he's not a consistent leg. He's got the leg, but he's not clutch.
You don't have to tell me about that.
And we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
Which might have sparked some thoughts for you for Heartbreaks.
Got a couple.
But I'll wrap this up a little bit. Luke Logan, extra point to tie it, send it overtime against our hated rival, State, in the Egg Bowl. We can't lose back-to-back against them. Shanks the fuck out of it. Instantly, there's video proof. My brother caught me. My reaction. As soon as the ball left his foot, I started screaming no. I was like, no! Like, shit, and then the ball was just hooking. Instantly. You can tell it was not good. And this dude falls to his knees, just crawling around looking like he's looking for his contacts and shit. He doesn't make it. And we lose by 1 point. Commonly known as and referred to as the piss and miss. It's going to go down in Ole Miss, Mississippi State, like legendary. It's going to be legendary in that rivalry. I'll pass the mic to you.
Is it the game now in the rivalry?
Right now, yeah. Because everywhere I go on those fan pages, I see the piss and miss. The, lifting the leg up. Like, I don't blame the kicker. Luke Logan, it's not your fault. You shouldn't have been in that situation. Elijah, hell of a receiver, but you got to be more aware. Can't let your emotions get the best of you. Piss and miss is obviously my second.
That's a good second to have.
Yeah.
My second, now, not only am I a Tennessee Titans fan.
Yeah.
College, it's a mix, I would say.
You're all over the place a little bit.
I'm all over. Main school is Alabama.
Yeah. Would you like to explain yourself before you get called a bandwagon?
I'm okay with being called a bandwagon. I'm not. I know, grew up in Alabama, and it's not just Alabama football. I love Alabama basketball, love Alabama softball.
Yeah.
Baseball, it's all right, but I'm not just that guy that piggybacks on Alabama football.
Yeah.
But, I mean, people are going to say you're a bandwagon, so it doesn't matter. I know what I am, so I don't give a shit. But Alabama football has given a lot of heartbreak over the years. As much as, don't get me wrong, it's a spoiled thing to say because it's been one of the greatest runs ever. But when they lose, they do it in a special way. Now, there's two that I personally have, at least I think. I'm going to go back to the very first one that really, really hurt. One's obvious. I'll get to it later.
Yeah.
This one is the first one that really broke my heart. Take you back to 2011.
Yeah.
Alabama is ranked number 2. They're hosting the number 1 ranked team in the country, the LSU Tigers. Les Miles, Jordan Jefferson's the quarterback, who's Justin Jefferson's older brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
There you go. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badgers there.
Yeah.
Mo Claiborne, defensive stud. Tons of talent on the field. As a 11-year-old kid, I believe, you're pumped. This is your Super Bowl. You're ready. Big watch party at the house. Went to college game day there the morning of. Tailgated on the quad before you were ready. I was going to go to the game. It was like $1,000 a ticket, but big watch party. The game starts. You watch that whole game, Alabama fans will tell you, LSU fans will tell you, Alabama was a better team throughout the entire game. Had longer plays. I remember right out of the bat, had a play to Trent Richardson that went about 30 yards down the field, had interceptions. LSU did get one pick from us that led to a field goal. But the main thing that hurts most about that game, two things, really. One, Cade Foster. Now,
I could just tell by the look on your face, man.
Cade Foster ruined a part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Just, Alabama fans know, I don't have to say it, we have not had any success when it comes to recruiting a certain position. I'll leave that at that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You can put 2 and 2 together.
This guy doesn't miss just one kick. He doesn't miss 2 kicks. He doesn't miss... I take it back. He only missed 3. The other kicker, Shelley, missed 1. It got blocked.
Yeah.
And it's not like there was one that was maybe long distance, like a 50-yarder that was in overtime. But he missed 2. The other 2 were chippies. And he didn't have the confidence in him, and he missed them. The game ended 9-6. All you got to do is make one of them, and we win.
Yeah. Or 2.
Well, no, because it wouldn't have gone to overtime.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So all you got to do is make one. He did the same thing in another game that I'm going to talk about, probably number 3 on my list.
Yeah.
It's just Alabama and kickers, man.
It
goes on forever.
I remember you saying one time, Nick Saban, basically, probably one of the greatest recruiters of all time.
Oh, no. He sold his soul to the devil And the one thing is, you can win all you want. You're just not going to have a kicker.
Yeah, you can.
I solely believe that after all these years of, and it's only in the big games. It's only in the big games that it matters.
When it counts, yeah.
Exactly. You can go to this game of the century.
Yeah.
You can go to Papanastis missing the kick in the national championship. He could have won it. Now, granted, we won the game.
Yeah.
But he was right there, a 20-yard field goal, and you miss it.
Yeah, and our friend jinxed us at that one. Not jinxed us, but jinxed you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, he's a Georgia fan, so bummer.
Yeah.
But no, game of the century. That, and then we should have had a touchdown, but we ran a trick play out of the Wildcat. Marquise Mays was a quarterback, and I swear, faked the reverse, threw it to the tight end, Michael Williams. I could have swore it was a touchdown. We started celebrating. Then we see Eric Reed, safety in the NFL now,
Yeah.
came away, ripped the ball out of Michael Williams' hands, and got an interception at the 1-yard line. That'd have been a walk-in touchdown. We didn't have to worry about the field goals. So, I mean, that started like legit. People were getting angry at our fan group. It was pissing people off.
Yeah. Was that the first signs of having a bad kicker? Do you remember?
That I remember, yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the first game where it really came down to kicking field goals.
Yeah. Like, that was the first signs that he might have had a problem with kicker. Like, it's sort of the reoccurring problem.
Well, he missed, but it wasn't a big game in a situation where you needed him.
Yeah. I got you.
This was a tight game where you knew 10 points was going to win the game. Every point matters. You didn't make kicks.
Yeah. Because you can even go till this year with the Auburn, the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, both of us. Same
Yeah.
thing, same situation.
Yeah.
Can't kick a field goal. Go to the kick 6.
Yep.
Same situation.
Yeah.
You missed 3 kicks.
That was a long kick, though. You got to admit.
Well, there was multiple kicks.
Yeah. Okay,
That's my
fair
next
point.
one. I'll go ahead and get into so second, LSU, Alabama, 2011. In the end, it worked out because we won the national championship.
Yeah.
But as an 11-year-old kid, that stung to the core.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
That was depressing. That was
get
my heartbreak. I'll go to my third, and then we'll come back to you.
I got you. No, go
Because
ahead.
it leads to the kick 6.
I got
The
you.
kick 6 obviously stings for many reasons.
It's probably one of the most famous plays in college football.
It'll go
history.
down in history as the game in the Alabama-Auburn rivalry,
Yeah.
which sucks.
And one of the top 5 games of all time, if you think about it.
Thanks,
That was a
Brandon.
hell of a fucking game.
Thanks, Brandon.
Just as an
That was a
outside.
great game. But
Yeah.
it goes down to the same situation where, again, with the field goals. Go back. I still remember the fourth quarter. Same situation. Same kicker. It's a 30-yard field goal. He lines up to kick it. He makes it.
Yeah.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. You back him up 5 yards. This dude kicks it like it's a soccer free kick, like a corner kick. It's awful. We'll show the tape on this on the podcast. I'll show you the edit. You can see the kick.
Okay, yeah. I
It's
think I
awful.
remember. I was watching in a hotel room.
It's awful. And he missed about 2 of them, I believe. Not just that. 2 minutes left. Auburn runs. It's a great play design, but as a defense, you got to be more aware. A read option where Nick Marshall rolls out. Corner reads down to try and get him. Receiver's wide open now because he's not covering his man. It's a
Yeah.
touchdown. And then you go into, obviously, last second of the game where you drive down, you get out of bounds with the second left, which in reality, I kind of wish that never happened.
Yeah.
And then you send the kicker. Oh, no, you send in the freshman kicker because the other kickers missed all his kicks.
And
Same
who's his name?
situation. It was Adam Griffith. And it's not his fault. That's a long kick.
Saying what it's worth, you said this too. I don't know. I would agree with you. He was honestly probably one of the best kickers you've had recently.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
rewatched 2 years later. He's at Auburn. We win 29-13, I believe. Henry, he had a big game. But Adam Griffith went 5 for 5 on kicks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he ended up being probably in this stretch the best. But he's always remembered as a kick 6 guy, which isn't deserved.
It's like Scott Norwood.
Exactly.
Hell of a kicker. But he's
Exactly.
going to be remembered for the Bills-Giants.
Exactly. I mean, it's a 56-yard kick. Your first kick as a true freshman in the biggest rivalry in college football.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, the play happens, and it was another one of those numb things.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a pissed off anger. It was just a numb, like, I can't believe what I just saw.
Yeah. That's the worst, honestly.
And that was a team that might have been the best Alabama team out of all the teams.
Really?
I believe so. I mean, they were undefeated through that. They were just kicking people's ass.
Fair point. Y'all beat us like 25-0, I think, that year.
Believe so. I mean, AJ maybe would have won the Heisman.
Okay.
Because it was going to come down, us and Florida State in the national championship. We lose that game, and then the Sugar Bowl, we don't really. It's
Yeah,
like when we
you
lost
don't show up.
Yeah, it's like when we lost to Florida in 2008. You gave your all to go win the national championship. Then
Yeah.
you lose the way you lose. Then you go and play Utah on the trigger, like Utah. You
Yeah.
know, we played Oklahoma, who's like ranked 15th, and we just didn't show up, and we got our ass kicked.
Yeah, it's like Georgia versus Texas. You know, they like 2 years ago, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just weren't motivated. Like
Auburn
I get
versus
that, yeah.
UCF, and it's just one of those things where you're trying to win a natty, you lose in the very next game. You just
You
don't
just
show up.
You don't care about the Sugar Bowl. You don't care about the
Exactly. So because of kickers, my second one, LSU versus Alabama, the game of the century in 2011, the Iron Bowl in 2013, otherwise known as the Kick Six game.
Yeah, basically every kick that's been like even this
Pretty
year.
much.
Yeah, and the
Pretty
Georgia
much.
one.
The LSU, that was a great team. That's not this year. Joe Burrow, I mean, they're one of the greatest teams in college football history. It's stung, but you lost to a good team.
Yeah,
The Auburn one sucked this year.
yeah, because they acted like they put a lot of points on the board.
Oh, yeah, defense couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
Defense this year was not up to par.
But I hate how they were. Cuss Malzahn, even me as like an outside watcher, was like he was talking like they did something. They got lucky.
Yeah.
The kicker shanked the fuck out of it.
I mean,
you
we're
know,
playing
hit
with
the gut.
Mac Jones also at quarterback, who I like him going into this year, but it's not the regular offense.
That was his first big start too, I think.
Yeah,
right?
his only other real start was against Arkansas.
Yeah, like next year I think y'all will beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean?
I would think so.
Even though you lost Judy, Ruggs, Tua.
Oh, and it goes back to you had the situation at the end of the first half where they had apparently it takes less than a second to snap a ball after the whistle starts at the end of the first half. I don't think you saw that.
I was at Chick-fil-A, I think.
You were at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I was getting a
Most
scoop.
Alabama fans know what I'm talking about. They called they ran and they had one down, but the clock starts on the whistle.
Yeah.
It takes a second,
second
from
to
when
hike
the
it.
whistle blows the snap, but apparently not. And so they got 3 points, and if you look at the final score, that's how it ended up being.
You know, I think I actually, because I got us Chick-fil-A in that game.
Yeah.
We were watching it at my house together. He didn't want to go get Chick-fil-A respectfully, so
Yeah,
I
watch
took
the game.
one for the team, went to go get it. I think I watched that. I think
Yeah.
I remember watching that part. Like,
So, I mean, there was that, and obviously, we just made mistakes. We were the better team. We just made mistakes. Mac threw 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
That one on the goal line where we're about to go in scoring a touchdown, and he throws a 99-yard pick six.
exactly.
Stings.
I remember that. Yeah, because I definitely remember.
So, I mean, you put it all together, we deserved to lose that game, but it still sucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my two.
I get that. That's
You
respectful.
got your third.
My third one. Okay, I don't want to go all Ole Miss, but that's mainly where my heart is.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna switch it up a little
I
bit.
feel like this is the same, if I
You got it.
catch a drift.
Is this like your fourth one too?
It depends on what you say.
Okay, so it's 2017.
Okay.
It's about May, June, about right there. We're in seniors in high school. Possibly one of our most legendary years we've ever had. We started going to watch parties for a little team in Nashville that just started getting some steam called the Nashville Predators. I've been on and off watching them for about 13 years before that. It's just I'm a local. I like to support the local team, but we were going against the Blackhawks. My friends, Zach and our other buddy, wanted to go to it, and I was like, you know what, I'll go. It's game 1 of the first series. They expect us to get the shit kicked out of us. I'm just going to go to have a good time.
We were the 8th seed. They were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
They're.
We barely snuck in. They were like one of the projected people. I'm coming in just to be like, a guy that loves sports, watches it, want to get into another sport, We win. We actually sweep them. Okay?
Yeah, we went to that game 3.
Yeah.
Legendary night.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I actually kind of like hockey.
Yeah.
We might not make it far in this, but this is actually kind of
sport.
cool. Yeah, I'm getting into hockey, and I actually got into hockey for all years to come. I'm kind of a casual guy now because I got more stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to keep up with an 82-game season, but second series, I believe, was the Blues.
Yeah.
The Blues, yeah.
There you go, Jake.
We went to that game. We had a guy constantly screaming, "There you go, Jake!" behind us.
Jake out on the goal. It was game 3.
Yeah, that's a running joke between us, but we win. I think 4-2.
Yeah. 1 and 6.
And then we go to the Ducks, who our friend was a Ducks fan, saying they were going to win in 5 games.
Oh yeah, talking major shit.
Talking major shit. And I was just now getting all in. Like, okay, I love hockey. This
is
great.
right at the peak of we graduate high school, like in the middle of.
Yeah. This is everything's coming to a peak. Like, we're finishing up classes, finishing up high school. Our team, our newfound team, you were a casual fan before this, I believe.
Yeah, it built.
Yeah, you were more of a fan than me.
Yeah.
Our other fan was more of the fan,
Yeah.
because he's the one that got us to go. And we beat the Ducks. Somehow we beat the Ducks.
Mm-hmm. That's without a lot of players, too. A lot of players got hurt.
We got hurt, yeah, because I remember we watched...
Johansson got hurt.
Yeah, we watched that game at our friend's graduation party.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, we're not going to make it far at all. We're like, we're done.
We thought that was it.
We somehow win. And then all in the whole, we graduate. We watch whatever... This is Ottawa and Pittsburgh, I believe.
Ottawa and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we were keeping up with it at our graduation because it was Game 7, I believe.
Yep. See who we would play.
We were hoping it was Ottawa because we did not want Pittsburgh.
Wait, is this your game?
Yeah.
This is your game.
This is no. I'm setting
I was like, why the hell is Ottawa Pittsburgh?
I'm giving backstory so that I can paint a picture.
Okay, continue.
I'm using my radio voice, but your
radio voice lost your train of thought.
I lost my train of thought. So yeah, it's Ottawa loses in Game 7. I believe in overtime. I might be wrong. Double overtime because I remember that. And it's Pittsburgh. We're like, shit. We're gonna lose. It's not good. I believe they won the first game. And then, excuse that, that's the downstairs window. Downstairs door, but if you heard that. Anyway, it's the second game. I believe we win, right? Or did we go down 2-0?
I believe we didn't win a game in Pittsburgh. So
yeah, because Pekka didn't win a game. He hadn't won a game in Pittsburgh. That was a running theme. Yeah, I remember that. Pekka wasn't good. And
I'm going to go ahead and say that my number 4 is the same as your number 4.
Okay, so you can join in if you want. Yeah.
So we lost. We start out, and it happened every time we played them in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Started out, they kicked the shit out of us in like the first period. Like we'd be down 3-0, and then game 1 we came back and tied it because the guy threw the catfish on the ice, and that sparked the run. Yeah. They still scored like 2 goals in the third, and we lost game 1. Game 2, I think we got destroyed. We wins game 3 and 4 in Nashville,
and then
and then we go game 5. I go to the beach.
So he's at the beach. I go to the Bridgestone Arena, where the Preds play, with our friend who's the Preds fan with us. He's our he's our buddy.
Yeah.
We go and watch it together. And I actually kind of remember this date. I think it's June 9th.
Pumped, motivated, because I'm like, we've won 2 straight.
Yeah.
This is our chance.
It's tied.
Yeah, this is our chance.
We got momentum. And then we lose like 6-0.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. I watched it for 30 minutes. It was like 4-0 at the end of the first period, something like that. You're like, it's over.
Yeah.
It is over. They didn't show up. They shit the bed.
I think Pekka got pulled too.
Yeah, he got pulled in the first period. So excited. The anticipation the whole day. Everything leads up to that, and then in 20 minutes it's over.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, shit.
It's just, and then I believe it's Game 6.
Game 6 is which is number 4 on both of our lists.
Yeah, number 3 for me, number 4 for you.
My bad. Number 4.
But it's just we go to our friend's house. We all watch it together.
Let's start out with we go to Nashville. Pre-game.
You guys did. I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. I had something to do that day.
We went because it started, and this is what the great thing about it was when we went to that first watch party against the Blackhawks, game 1, the first game of the playoff.
Yeah.
It was a couple dozen people there.
Yeah, it was legit like the front parking lot or the front stand.
I would say there was less than 50 people there. Was that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's fair.
On a Jumbotron. And it, after the first round, builds a little bit.
They block off a street, yeah.
Yeah. Second round, they have them at the park across the
Bicentennial or something like that.
Yeah, across from the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
some fans start showing up there. You get to the thing versus the Ducks, and it is packed. The whole city takes over. You can call it bandwagon, you can call it what you want, but the community formed together, and it was an amazing once-in-a-lifetime scene.
And before y'all say bandwagon, because I'll admit, I was kind of a bandwagon in that, even though I didn't know we were going to be that good. I thought we were going to get the shit kicked out of us by the Blackhawks. So I was coming in to see if I like hockey. I liked the Preds, but I just didn't really follow them. That's my disclaimer.
No, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I mean, to see the city build to where in the finals, you've got all of Broadway packed, you've got that park packed, you've got to experience that in Game 6.
Yeah, and the thing is, Nashville, ever since I think 99, 2000 with the Titans, have never really had something like this before.
No.
We've never had a team.
Especially us.
Yeah.
When that happened, we were infants and pampers. This was a chance to finally see a Nashville team win the championship.
And it's pandemonium. Like, legit, everybody was a Preds fan.
Exactly.
And it was crazy. I'll never forget that. That was one of the craziest spans.
It's one of the craziest sights I've ever seen walking around downtown. The only thing, it was even more, for me, than the draft.
I was about to say.
It was very...
They had all of Broadway blocked off like the draft.
Exactly.
And it was packed. It looked like the draft. For a freaking tiny, like,
for a hockey
screen.
game.
Yeah. for a screen that's like probably 50 feet big.
Exactly.
And people in the back can't even see, but they're there because they want to see the Preds win.
Exactly.
It's Game 6. We meet up.
Game 6.
We meet up at our friend's house. We all three watch it together. And Pekka plays lights out, if I remember correctly. We had that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when you're going to get to that.
Okay, yeah. It was like 1-0, I believe, the entire game.
It was 0-0 the entire
0-0
game.
the entire game. They score because it got caught in his skate.
Let me set it. Let me set it.
Because I kind of remember something was waved off.
I believe it's the second period. Colton Sissons, it looks like, allegedly, that he has a goal off a rebound.
Yeah.
The puck goes through the net. The official waves it off for some reason after, the puck's in the net.
Yeah.
But, so, it sucked. It was a bad call.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. It was a bad call. But it's 0-0, so you're thinking, okay. But in the back of your head, like, that's going to come back to bite us in the ass.
Exactly. Everybody was thinking
You
that.
go to the third period now. It's still 0-0. And I believe with anywhere between 2 minutes to a minute left, Patrick Hornquist, a former Predator, I might add.
Yeah.
He scores, but it's one of those scores, I don't want to say it's a bullshit score, but it's one of those where you shoot it off the back of the goalie.
Yeah.
So the goalie has no chance.
It's a ricochet.
But he scores with a minute left. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And as, the whole run, everything, that peak, as you said,
Yeah. Game
It's done.
3 of the Blackhawks.
it's over.
Watching-
The whole run, over.
Yeah. All that.
Like that.
From April to June. Gone.
Exactly.
All that excitement. We've never had something like that. Probably never will ever again. It was not because after that.
Well, it's never going to be the same.
Yeah,
where it's just because no offense, but the Preds have turned it into a corporate.
Sellout thing.
Exactly, to where back then it was local fans, cheap tickets. I mean, we got tickets to the playoffs for like $50,
Yeah. And
both rounds.
now, because that next season, I think we won the President's Cup.
Yeah, we were the number one team
Yeah.
in the whole NHL.
And it wasn't as magical.
No.
'Cause we beat Colorado, and then we got beat we beat Colorado, and then we lost to Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, I wasn't feeling it. Like, that was like one of the first
it
seasons.
wasn't the same vibe.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we're the best team in the league. Everybody's coming for us. It wasn't
It was an underdog mentality that the whole city caught
Yeah.
and ran with.
we were the best team. Everybody's coming for us. It wasn't like last year where we were the worst team. We barely snuck in. We're coming for y'all. It wasn't the same vibe.
Exactly, and it's also one of those like you said, it's a once in a lifetime thing that we might not ever get again.
Yeah, the whole city came together, legit.
And to end the way it did when we probably should have won that game. Now, granted, maybe should have won that game. I don't know if we win in Pittsburgh Game 7 the way we played the entire series.
Probably not,
because Pittsburgh kicked our ass. But still, just to keep it going for a couple days longer, for it to end the way it did, it stings. And if we'd have lost in 7 games, that'd probably make the list on here because we were a game away from winning the final.
Yeah.
But that's your number 3. That's my number 4. My Mount Rushmore is done. You have the floor for the last one.
Okay, so I had to sneak another team in there, so it's not all Ole Miss. It's not a clean sweep of Ole Miss.
But now,
alas, the same team that did it to me in the first with the George Washington is
God.
rounding it up in the fourth. It's 2017. Probably I actually hate this team more than Mississippi State. They've been on this list before.
That is a bold statement to make.
I'll explain it. I'll explain myself, okay? I'll wrap this one up a little bit quickly because we've been going over a little bit, but we were up 31-7 against Arkansas, okay? This is Jordan Tommy's first start since Jay Patterson got hurt, and he lights it up, okay? All of a sudden, Octavius Cooley fumbles the ball.
My boy.
His boy, his favorite Ole Miss player.
Cooley!
He fumbles the ball, they score, and then we get a pick. They somehow make it like an 11-point game, I believe, 31-20. We get a pick. Okay, we actually have a shot. We're gonna just run it out. It's over. And then all of a sudden, Scotty was out. It was Eric Sweeney and Jordan Tomu. They fumble a read option, and it gets picked up and returned all the way back. Okay, and then some series of events happen. They score. We're up by 1. It's 38-30. It's 37-35. Actually, my bad. 37-35. They drive all the way down the field. They have a kick. All right, they kick to win the game. Matt Luke calls 3 straight timeouts. They kick it. They win by 1 point. 31-7, blown away to 38 for a 1 point loss. 38-37, when we had a 31-7 lead. Okay? Not to mention, a year before, a little sneak peek, Ole Miss was the top of the world. You know, number 11 coming in with Chad Kelly, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Evan Ingram. A solid returning staff. Loaded. Hugh Freeze coming off a huge year. Sugar Bowl victory. We blew 2 leads to number 4 Florida State, 28-6. We blew it. Lost it. First week. And then, I think week 3 against Bama, 24-3 lead. Blew it. Number 1. They were number 1 in the league.
Yep.
That's 3 weeks. 2 blown losses, 20-point leads to 2 top 5 teams. That hurt. This is a conjoined.
Oh, so it's 3.
So it's Arkansas, Ole Miss, 2017, 31-7, blown lead, because that one freaking hurt.
Yeah.
Because I hate Brett Bielema. 4 straight years to lose in Arkansas. I hate Brett Bielema. And then blowing 2 top 5 leads, 20-point leads to top 5 teams in 3 weeks. Our whole season could have probably played out different after that. Because we'd have been confident. Because we'd have beaten the hell out of Georgia, who was top 15.
Yeah, y'all did.
Yeah, we still did, but we would have been number 1. We had a number 1, number 4, and number 12, I believe, all in our bucket going in to a 5-0 start. We would have been number 1. Whole season would have played out different. We finished 5-7 that year. That's my Mount Rushmore.
This is very depressing.
But you know what?
Going down like memory lane like this is hitting me in the feels, man.
But you know how we kick it back up to finish it off to, boost the spirits?
How so?
This podcast is sponsored by the Cash App.
Damn right it is.
Cash App. We're not sponsored by the Cash App, but if we were, goddamn, we would plug the hell out of it. So,
exactly. We love the Cash App.
Zach, do you use the Cash App?
I do.
You do?
Sometimes.
Okay, that counts. But you know what? Cash App, if we did get sponsored by you, we'd
use it all the damn time.
All the damn time. So please, give us a sponsor.
We love you, Cash App.
Cash App.
Before we go, any honorable mentions?
Okay, honorable mention. I kind of remember this. The 7th over, and again, Arkansas. Somehow, Arkansas.
Jesus Christ, man!
I hate Arkansas. 7 overtime game. Eli Manning.
Y'all got to thank for Arkansas.
It was like a record-breaking 7 overtime game. We lose. Eli Manning days, and then Ole Miss, LSU. Eli Manning senior year, I believe, playing for the SEC West.
Yeah.
He trips over his lineman's foot. We lose the game. We share the West, but they have the tiebreaker. So we could have played in the SEC Championship then. I was a little kid, so it doesn't really sting as much, but that's an honorable mention.
Okay. For me, honorable mention, Alabama won as the lost to Clemson 2016 season national championship, where they just kept running bullshit pick plays.
I thought that was going to be on there, Bob.
I thought about it, but because I just remember as soon as that play happened, immediately turned the TV off, went to bed, didn't watch sports for a couple of days because I did not want to see the play. It did sting.
I remember you the day after, too. You were not in a good mood.
Not at all. Titans-wise, one that really sticks out, and this is kind of another, like, what you did earlier with, like, the 3 set of games is one.
Yeah.
The 10-year streak or whatever it was that we lost to the Colts. Shit hurt, man.
Yeah.
Because there's just some you throw in there. We lost. Andrew Luck is a rookie. He beat us in overtime. Screen pass to Vic Ballard, I believe was his name. We just could never beat the Colts. I mean, Peyton had our number all the time. It wasn't part of the streak, but this past year at home, Nissan Stadium, we're honoring Eddie George. We're honoring McNair. We can't beat the Colts. It just, something about the Colts, man. We can't beat the Colts. It's like an Arkansas thing. It's always the Colts. It's always. That's why this year, one of my top wins ever is when we went to Indianapolis. Me and my dad did.
Oh, yeah.
And we beat the Colts. That's
road
like
trip.
Top. That'd be for later, but that's on my Mount Rushmore greatest wins.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Another Titans one that I'll wrap up is 2014. Both of these teams sucked at the time. We were playing the Cleveland Browns. We got up on them 28-3. We ended up losing this game 29-28. And I just remember as a teenage Titan fan being like incredibly pissed off. Like, we just blew a fucking lead to the Cleveland Browns. And this isn't even like the Cleveland Browns that are like decent now. This is like during that long stretch where they've been straight ass.
Yeah. like number one picks.
That's when you know, like, okay, your team sucks.
Yeah.
Like, my team is awful. We just blew a 25-point lead to the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, so those are my honorable mentions.
You know, I'm going to need a drink after this of water.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm sweating it up. It's like a sauna in here.
Exactly. It was a good little sauna podcast.
But you know what? Thanks for listening. If you made it this
Appreciate you.
far. We'll promise to bring some positivity next week. But,
Exactly. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. Comment below. Like and subscribe on the new YouTube channel that we just created last week.
Completely biased.
Exactly. Appreciate the love and support, and we'll see you next time.
See you, Zach.
See you, Brandon.